Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars 444, the 44th and 4th day, all fours. Gonna be a while until we see all fives. It used to happen like really quick, like a few month rotation. Now with how it is, it's like probably almost once a year. We'll end up seeing it as all three of the exact same numbers, so it's gonna be a while, that is for sure. But anyways, it's the 44-4 day of Guild Wars, so let's go into that. Or, you know, 44th week, 4th day. You guys get the point. Anyways, let's get into it. And we will be using this team one more time after yesterday's kind of bad defeat. We need to go into something that isn't 100% horrible. Speaking of things that aren't 100% horrible, the Glitter Claw pulled off 2 wins, and of course, obviously, this team pulled off 2 wins. Still really low win rates, though. Not sure if it's just because everyone's winning a lot, or if they're not really doing that good as teams. Though I know this team's about as strong as you can really get it, as far as the only other change you can make is Dawnbringer on it, which I actually don't use on any of my things, mainly because I don't want to have to keep switching hero class for it. They are eventually going to be making it so you can set hero class per team, but as you guys know, that is not currently possible. It will be sometime this year, but not at the moment. But anyways, we're going to be running with this slightly different banner, slightly different order. Same team we've kind of been running though, same premise anyways. But the Forest Guardian, Yasmin, Glitterclaw, Queen Aurora. The benefit of this team and the whole premise of it is it can one-turn Forest Guardian with a yellow surge, and that's kind of what it's banking on in order to win. Of course, there are many ways to make it win, but that's the whole premise of this team. Take a yellow for turn 1, get it to full mana, cast it on alignment, and then get rolling is pretty much this team in a nutshell. And with that being said, let's just get into it then. It is Green Day, right? Better be. Could you imagine? I still have yet to do that yet. I still have yet to accidentally use the wrong color on the wrong day. It will happen, but so far we're 44 weeks in, and I've managed to never do it. So I think we're pretty lucky so far in that regard. Well, actually, that's not luck. That's just paying attention, but you know, it's pretty easy to sometimes forget on occasion. Hello, William. Hello, Mystic. Hello, Danny. Hello, Traylon. Hello, Ran. Hello, Mr. Jesse. And hello, Kavera. Welcome all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's your mother's birthday. Nice. My mom's birthday is actually in about a month from now, actually. So I'll be celebrating that with her, of course. Let's see. Actually, what day does that fall on? It's May 2nd. Are we streaming that day? Though I'd probably be doing it during the day. The only issue would be if May 2nd is a Friday or a Saturday. I mean, yeah, Friday or Saturday. Okay, good. It falls on a Wednesday. So, yeah, that'll work out then, because we don't normally do much on a Wednesday. So, yeah, that'll be perfect. Okay, let's go take out a yellow there. Nothing else. We could also use it for Aurora to get a lot of mana. Only thing I hate about Forest Guardian, well, all those double converts, or even single converts in general, they never want to get the alignment when I need them. And they are persisting in not wanting to give me alignment at all, which is always annoying, especially when it happens in Guild Wars. In PvP, it doesn't matter as much if it happens, but of course in Guild Wars, it's bit more annoying. There we go, finally. Okay, we should be good to go at this point. Let me actually throw this on the green because of how much more mana it gives, and it's almost guaranteed hit. Now we just throw the Glitter Claw, and now we just win. He does have 2 things that are immune, but it doesn't really make that big of an impact because we could just infinitely loop this into the win, similar to how we would do a web spinner. There we go. And 2 more should do it. And 1 more should do it. And dead. There we go. Hello, Humberto! Hello, JGG! Hello, Simple! And hello, Masturbator. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Ah, I see what you did there. I didn't realize that initially when I was pronouncing it fail. But, clever name. Clever name. Anyways. Wait, why is this team exactly the same? Or almost exactly the same. It's using KrissTigger instead of Draculus. They better not all be using this team. It's not too bad for us to face. It doesn't really have any good kill option, really. Like, what's it gonna kill me with a KrissTigger? Well, I guess that still would kill us, I guess. But it's definitely not that intimidating. The more intimidating part about it's to summon more so than the actual damage. What is that, like 31? Boost ratio to 35 or so? Yeah, it's gonna take him like 7 caster or something, which is definitely a while. Okay, we don't have any alignment, once again. I also don't have the manas I need. We could use half the mana on the entire board, and not a single one of them are available, so we'll just take that, I guess. It's still not available. We have a single convert for a skull, but it doesn't give us anything beyond that. And that KrissTigger that I said isn't intimidating is going to get a shot at us. I'm going to leave that skull for him. Oh, we actually got our yellow out of it. Perfect. And I don't think he denied anything too important. Still don't have that Forest Guardian, though. None of them are near each other. I guess we just go and get Yasmin up, throw a blank Yasmin, and then try aiming with Glitter Claw. Seems like the plan. So this will obviously miss. There's almost 100% chance this will not extra turn. As I say that, it extra turns. Good job. Well, I won't complain. We definitely could have used that. That is good. What do we need? What do we need? We actually have the skull alignment, so I think I'm going to go for that. We have 0 greens on the board pretty much, so that will help a little bit. And, ooh, that's tempting. Glitter Claw, why don't you have full mana right now? It's perfect setup for you. Okay, we're going to throw this on green and just hope again it to land, and it does. Ideally, we'd have Glitter Claw here, and we do. And now we just Yasmin until we win. Oh, I thought that missed for a second, I was going to say. With all that on the board, I would prefer a 4 times green right now. I want to take as few greens off the board as possible, so I'm going to move that one. And go for that, because we already have all of our mana. Similarly, right now, I'm going to take 4 times if we have it somewhere, as I don't want to take too much off the board. So go grab that. Actually, I think I could have Glitter Clawed there. Oh, well. And 1 more. Actually, 2 more might be wiped. Nope, never mind. 1 more. And that's that. Yeah, so far, so good. It's actually on track for about 9,500, if I'm not mistaken. We don't really take too much damage, and we're doing, it's not going the quickest on most of these battles, but still going decent. Okay, here's a Grapple Pot Siren. That could get a little annoying. Goblins in general can just win any turn they feel like it. If they feel like winning on a given turn, they will just go and win. It's just a matter of that. If you don't get a freeze down in time or anything like that. Also, hello, Cherry Top. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You got 1,970 today, your personal record. Wow, congratulations. I think the highest I ever gotten was low 9,600s. Somewhere around there. I forget exactly what the score was, but it was somewhere around that general ballpark. It's really hard to do. Realistically, 9,500 is technically max score, because to get anything above 9,900 almost comes down to luck in some instances, because it depends a lot on what your starting board is. What do we even need here? Is that an extra turn? With all these complexities. I kind of want to go for it. I think it's not. Oh, no, never mind. Duh. It's an extra turn right there. Okay. Well, we're definitely going for it then. I was looking at this little area right there and seeing if that would have been an extra turn. Actually, would have been. Even if that wasn't in the corner, we would have extra turned off those skulls there. We'll go get a Glitter Claw here. They can all be fairy fired unlike the previous teams we're up against, so this will actually go quicker than the other teams. We kept going into teams that had immune to it. Now we just triple cast and boom, dead. That's the power of them being fairy fired. Yeah, Glitter Claw is just insane how much value it has compared to Borealis because of the convert. I really wish they would add that convert to Borealis. It would instantly make it useful. If Borealis had a convert all yellows into blue, similar to how like the Jackalope has it and how the Glitter Claw is exactly set up, if they give Borealis convert yellow to blue, it would instantly become usable and might even replace out Queen Mab in some instances. The only reason why Glitter Claw replaces out Queen Titania in so many instances, even though they're both the Fairy Fire options, is mainly because of that extra turn aspect of it, where it also accumulates mana. If Borealis had that aspect too, it would be able to replace out Queen Mab, but as it currently stands, Queen Mab is essentially always the better option, unless you have an untraded Queen Mab, in which case, well, you have to do Borealis because she doesn't get a freeze until she's fully traded. But yeah, really wish they would make that change to Borealis. It wouldn't even make it overpowered. Even in that instance, Glitter Claw would still be better than it overall. Okay, board. Why don't you have anything for us? What do we even go for? Nothing we really need on this board. I guess we'll take a blue to a yellow. Oh, but that gives him red. Do we want to give him red? I don't want to give him red. I do want that yellow, though. I might just simply take the yellow with 0 Cascade, so we'll go do that. He'll hit us, poke us slightly. He aligns for us, so perfect, and now we get rolling off of that. Nice double skull, nice triple skull. Do we have any Cascades laying around? Doesn't look like it. I think, ooh. No, I was going to take that for a second. No, I don't want to give it that many blues, even if it already has full mana, just in case it does it the other way around. I kind of want to leave that Skull Distract here, but because it might give us a turn to do whatever with. Biggest issue here is we're not going to get full mana on anything that's important, regardless of what turn we do. It's going to explode every green on the board too, which is slightly concerning, because, yeah, there's a lot of green on the board, so we'll go do that. And there goes every single green. But it does give us alignment if it doesn't ruin it, or if it doesn't kill us this turn, because that is definitely possible. Okay, this is so far so bad. We're not getting any of our core mana generators up. We keep getting the first slot up. So we'll go move that over. Got a slight kill, but that doesn't make too big of an impact. Again, nothing I could really do off of this due to the lack of board at the moment. He's going to explode pretty much the entire board when he does so. Yellow I kind of need. Plus it gives us an extra turn, so we will go for that. Throw this on the green. Please don't miss. Oh! Oh, we're in trouble. That hurt. That hurt. Okay. What's the backup plan at this point? Nothing looks good. I think I might just take purple. Yeah, I think we're just going to take a purple here. But then again, it's going to explode all the greens. So it does make me tempted to go for green as well. Yeah, we don't have a drop there or anything. We don't have... I guess we could try for green to green. And we don't have Yasmin anywhere. I mean, a Forest Guardian anywhere, which is what I would normally want to cast right here. At least we got the Crystallize going on that guy. So worst comes to worst. Give us a couple turns and we'll be able to do something. Okay. Again, nothing to really use off this board. It's going to hurt our score so much this battle. We're going to move that over. Finally got Yasmin. Got a little extra turn to go into it too. Nice. No extra turn laying around. I'm tempted just to go for Yasmin. Before we do, I'm going to take the blue that it needs. There we go. That's exactly what we need to get going. Still no alignment though. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw Yasmin and hope we get lucky. Got it. Tell me that's alignment somewheres. Yeah, it is. Okay, we should be fine then. Do we have Glitter Claw? I'll do it first if we do. No, we do not. So we'll go throw that down. Get that rolling. Get a Glitter Claw down, unless we don't have alignment, which we do actually, because we could drop into a skull, and we should be good from here now. Well, that took forever to get rolling, but at least we got it before he killed us out. And that's match. Took us like 20 turns too late, but there we go. Still gives us the win. It's 1 a.m. by you? Yeah, unfortunately, the time that I normally stream is really bad for people in like the Europe area and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's like the middle of your night. That will happen. That does happen sometimes. Or not sometimes, all the time, unfortunately. That's why we actually do the Friday and Saturday morning streams, because at least those are somewhat better times for people more towards Europe and the similar areas. And we'll be doing that again tomorrow at 14 hours from now. I'll be going for a couple hours. We will mainly be doing maps, though. And I know some people don't care for maps, but I do need to go grind them out. Plus, I want to do some data testing, which I've been meaning to do. I still haven't tested the hourly rate of maps since they got buffed. The most recent patch buffed them. It was a while ago at this point. It was like, what, a month, 2 months ago? But the most recent patch buffed them to give them a repeat button. And I never tested how many maps per hour and stuff like that, resources gains and all that, they can gain since they added the repeat button. It might not seem like much, but it does shave off a few minutes every hour. And a few minutes is a few maps, so basically getting a free few maps extra every single time. Okay, do we have Glitter Claw? I guess we do. Perfect. And that's match then. It should be a good enough board setup to just wipe him out from here. And now we just keep casting Yasmin until we win. And of course you can do similar with Web Spinner too, which is just slightly better with Yasmin when you have the chance to do so. And there we go. Now, the final verdict. What is our score? Given that one battle, I almost want to say 9,300 because of how bad that fourth battle went. If it was earlier on and we did that bad, it probably wouldn't have been as horrible. But I think that hurt our score quite a bit. Oh, no, never mind, I lied. It's still 9,500. Even with a horrible battle, it's still over 9,500. Amazing. Yeah, this team, when it's perfect, could easily 9,600. Like, that's with mistakes right there. No really big mistakes, but still with some mistakes. Mainly on the fourth battle. But, yeah, it still came through. Very nice. I think one of the things I'm kind of underestimating, even though it seems like it's doing a lot of damage to us, a lot of the time it's doing damage to the barrier off of Queen Aurora. And if it's doing damage off a barrier, it doesn't count as actual damage in Guild Wars. Only if they're specifically damaging your HP or armor values does it count as actual damage. But if they're just hitting your barrier, then it does nothing as far as points are concerned. So having barrier spam actually saves your score a lot, particularly against full AoEs. And that is pretty popular in almost every Guild War team. Yeah, not like full AoEs, but, you know, at least having one option. Like, you'll either see, like, a Queen Mab or a Grapple Pod or a Elmagrim or, you know, some kind of standard AoE. It might not be a full team based around it, but it'll at least have normally one of them in there. Anyways, that's that. Went pretty well then. Bit better than I was expecting. Though, given the team that is pretty much its average, 9,500, assuming it doesn't lose at all. You don't have the same schedule? Wait, with what? Oh, yes, on console, the color days are different for whatever reason. I believe both the console versions and the PC mobile version, for whatever reason, are completely different on what days are what color. The only thing that's consistent is what day each dungeon is on, which I forget what the order is off the top of my head. The only thing I remember is Sunday is Diamond Day. But dungeons are the same every single day as far as what color associates with each day. But for whatever reason, PvP is completely different. It's kind of odd. I even believe Invasion and Raids align as well, as far as everything with them. Well, actually, never mind. There isn't anything weird that could change with them, because the only thing would be the typing of the week. So yeah, the only real game mode that's kind of different for whatever reason is Guild War. They're never the same exact coloration, for who knows why. It's weird. You would think that it would be across all platforms. It is on their cross-platform platforms. Like, for example, on PC Mobile. Even though they're different platforms, they still share the same days. But that's only because they are actually cross-platform. On the ones that aren't, for whatever reason, they don't care if they're the same color day. So they basically have 3 different color days, all of which could be completely different. It's the PS4 color, the Xbox One color, and then whatever's on the PC Mobile cross-platform version. Your only green mythic is Wardbreaker. Any good Guild War team recommendations? Yes, I believe we did a full green dragon team with it earlier that we were showing. Let's see if I can remember it. It was Dragotar, hero weapon using some kind of brown weapon, Wardbreaker, and Glitterclaw was the team. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. Because that's pure green. Yeah. And then you would just need one hero weapon covering some additional color on whatever you want to go use it with. Yeah, it's Dragotar, hero using Dragotar class. Dragotar, hero using Dragon Guard class. Fully traded, ideally, though not mandatory. Followed by a Wardbreaker, followed by a Glitterclaw. Just in general, if you don't have all of that, well, you should, because you have at least have the Dragotar. But doing it Wardbreaker, Glitterclaw, if you have that laying around, is very, very potent. I use it in a couple of my teams. Not really on too many that I run a lot as its current moment, but it's definitely very strong. Normally, whenever I'm running Pure Dragon, it's what I run. Of course, I do it slightly different than Pure Green, but it can easily be used on Pure Green Day if you wanted to. I just don't because there are slightly better options out there when having literally everything in the game to choose from. And down it goes. It's blue, green, red, yellow, purple, and brown, and then Diamond Day. Thank you for that. Yeah, I don't have that memorized at all. I know it's the same every single week, I just always forget what order it's in. I should probably memorize that in case anyone ever asks. But yeah, it never changes the order on Dungeon Days. They're always the same every single week. Okay, let's go get a Sunbird down, get a Rowan. I think we'll need one more poke after that, because that is not going to be enough damage. Ideally, we need Sunbird up, like, now. Mainly because he's going to do some damage to it. I want to make sure it gets right back up. Also, every turn we waste, Def is actually lowering the amount of damage we do due to his life steal gain thingy. What do we even need? I guess we'll try for the blue there. We actually got it. Nice. Do we take this? No, I need a red or purple. None of which are available, even though there's so many on the board. But that'll be the way we clean up. No free turn. Okay, we'll just move that, I guess. Didn't even get a Cascade. He just hit us for 4. Good job. And now we touch Sunbird Wipe. Really? It lived with 1 HP. Well, now it's 4 because it, stole some HP. Well, apparently we're 1 turn too late. Could you imagine if he actually killed us with Death Marks at this point? It would be possible if we took forever to kill him. But there we go. Oh, I never noticed that. Interesting. It's actually in the order of that? Is everything in order of those colors? It might be. That might have been why they actually set it up in that order, just because everything runs in that order. So it's easier for them to code everything the same that way. It'd be a lot easier to remember for them as well. I never noticed that. Is it actually that color order? Let me see. Blue day, green day, red. Oh, it is yellow, purple, and brown. I never noticed that. I never noticed that. Wow, interesting. Yep, it does indeed go in the order of the dungeon days. Sweet. Okay. Interesting. That's kind of weird. I never noticed that at all. That pattern there. Anyways, let's go do a little bit of treasure hunt. We're still, like, barely any in. We're at, how far are we right now? We're 74 in. We're about 1/3 the way there. We're almost there, kind of. No, after doing it for about an hour tomorrow, I think that will actually close the gap. But But yeah, let's go into some treasure hunt just a little bit, and then we'll mess around in PvP. If you guys have any questions or team builds you want me to do, just let me know. Can I do a full mythic team just for fun? Oh yeah, sure, I can go do a full mythic team just for fun. Every single 4x mythic team is pretty bad though. Mainly because you need at least one non-mythic to kind of hold the team together for mana generation. Yeah, you never... That's one mistake that newer players tend to make a lot too, is... well, obviously not putting 4 mythics on a team. That's not a mistake they could possibly make. But putting too many high-impact cards onto a team, but having no mana generator for them. Like, if you put the 4 strongest teams in the... or troops in the entire game onto the same team, but if none of them actually have mana generation, it's going to do almost nothing. Okay, what do we even need? We'll go move that over. Move that down. Oh, I wanted that. Well, I guess it's still extra turns for us. Oh well. We'll go move that over. Grab that 4 or 5 times so it saves our turns. I should probably be rushing through this. There's really no reason to play them out. Let's see. Because we can do it a lot quicker just by constantly taking the first move we see every single time. Actually doing it slightly slow, even though I'm trying to do that now. It's mainly because the board's kind of congested. So not as many moves to go and take. I guess we'll take that one. Or that one. That one. That over. That over. Oh, come on, move. Move that one. That one. Oh, it's already over. And what do we get from it? Skip. And hey, we actually got an arcane. Haven't seen an arcane for a while off of doing treasure hunt. I believe it's about a 1 in 30, 1 in 40 chance. 1 in 50, 1 in 40. I think it's towards 1 in 40 if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there. 3% chance or so. What does that break down to? That is a 1 in... Yeah, 1 in 40, right? I think I'm doing that math wrong. Probably. No, 1 in 34 or so. Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Regardless, it's about approximately a 2.5% to 3%, I believe, of getting it off of a treasure hunt. Every single one of the trait stone drops you get. And Celestial's around a 1%. Of course, all of that is tripled when you do it in Explore. But yeah, it's somewhere around that general ballpark. But yeah, there we go. Random arcane. And you can drop every arcane in the game. Actually, you can get every trait stone in the game from treasure hunt, which is kind of cool. It's not really a good way of focusing trait stones, but it's if you're just looking for a bulk of trait stones, it is a nice way to get it. Of course, this week when you have 2 times trait stones, it's sitting there. Probably better to go do that to get your trait stone farming. But still, with the event this week, the event objectives focused on maps, definitely really good value to go and do that. Anyways, let me go do 4 times mythic as suggested. So Dragatar, War and Peace, World Breaker, and Glitterclaw. Yes, so if you're going to specifically be using War and Peace as your weapon, I'd probably say put World Breaker into 2nd slot as long as they're not using a Corvash. You got a Vault on console and mobile in the same week? Very, very nice. Yeah, I tend to get barely any Vaults. We've only gotten, not counting Gnome events and not counting ways that you automatically have a 100% chance of getting one. I've only ever gotten, I believe, 2 Vaults outside of the events. One on the very first week on, like, the 3rd day because we were trying to grind for one. And another one was, at some random point after that. But that's all we were able to do so far. Not counting all the ones we got from the actual event. I think we've gotten like 6 from the events, and then the rest are just from standard drops from, you know, like raids and dungeons. I mean, raids and invasion and what's that other mode called? Bounty Hunter, which is actually next Friday in 6 days and 6 hours. Anyways, what was I about to go do? 4 times Mythic team. What even is the meta for 4 times Mythic these days? Let me see. It's been a while since we actually ran 4 times Mythic. Let me go to base rarity and see what we even have to choose from. I definitely will need Queen Aurora because there's almost no mana generators underneath Mythic, so that will help us some. Oops, what am I doing? I need to go under base rarity. So let's see what we have to choose from. Also, how many Mythics are there? There's 8, 16, 24, 25, 26, and there's 26 Mythics, though 27 if you count Zugoff, though literally 0 people own Zugoff, so yeah, 26 Mythics currently exist within the game. That means they've been releasing Mythics for about 2 years now, which makes about sense, because that's about when they came in. So, yeah, about 2 years of Mythics. Cool. But yeah, this is everything we have to choose from, all 26 of these. So Queen Aurora for sure, because we barely have any mana options. Ferrous Raw is tempting, but we don't have another Soul Gainer. Famine is tempting, so much so I'm probably going to put it in, even though it's very similar colors to the one we already put in. Actually, if we really wanted to, we could run 3 Queen Auroras with 1 other Mythic. Actually, Isn't there a mythic that... Wait, what is a, colors? All colors. What is a red, blue, brown mythic? Does one exist? Ah, it's war. Can we get a better blue, red, brown mythic? Can we get away with this still, though? Spam war a billion times over. I'll give it a shot. You didn't specify what mythics we had to use. 3 Queen Auroras with a war. There we go. I'm pretty sure you meant 4 different mythics, but... let's see. What banner do we even go into? I guess this is a double red. Is there a +2, +1 into his colors with a -1 into a Queen Aurora color? Anywheres. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. We'll just stick with double red, I guess. Wait, what is he using? Let's go double brown, actually. So we can counter him out a little bit. Oh, you know what? There we go. Perfect. +2 brown, +1 red, -1 purple. That'll work. Okay, so let's go with this. And now we have +5 brown, +4 red, +3 everything else, and +2 red. I mean, +2 purple. Okay, so reds and browns, as I mentioned, in that weird explanation, is what we need to be taking. So we'll go grab that. Skulls, do we bother? Probably not, because he's using, what's his name? The, Gorgolfa, so that's not really going to be that helpful. What do we end up killing out first? What's the biggest threat on this team? We do not have immune to poison, so I almost think I get Scorpius this time around. How much damage is that? Not enough. I think we can two-shot that, though, because by the time we get enough damage, yeah, we'll definitely be able to two-shot him. So we're going to go kill that out. Need brown, reds, and blues. None are available, so we'll take some purple. Take some red. I probably should have taken the blue first, so we still had a turn the following turn. Because now we have nothing. Actually, what even is the move? Are we stuck having to take a green? I guess we'll go for it. If nothing else, it keeps us protected. Though I should probably wait until we get another one, because using that, we'll just get the first slot killed. Okay, now we can actually get a kill, and an extra turn, and then go from there. So that's one of the biggest threats taken out. The only thing else that can really kill us is, I guess, Elamagrim. He might end up getting a kill on first slot, but there's very little I can do about that. Unless I specifically get that Queen Aurora up. That's the only way we can keep it alive. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way just to do that. Doesn't seem like it's worth it. So we're going to go do this on red. Should be able to give it to us. Perfect. Still not enough damage to really get any kills. Or is it? Wait. 18 plus... Oh, no, it's still not enough. Almost, though. I might wait it out, actually. Because we only have to wait, like, what, 2 turns? I keep forgetting. He gains, like, 3 attack now. They did a buff to him, if I'm not mistaken, the most recent patch, too, where they gave him slightly more damage. And it's definitely quite helpful, that's for sure. Oh, why did I take the brown? I just wasted that. I didn't have anything that needed brown at the time. But let's go kill this out now. Go for the blues, get his mana right back up, and go from there. Take blue, take blue. We get to refire, though. I don't believe that's enough damage to kill anything. So we're just going to move that over. That's going to die. Nothing I can do about it. We don't have enough damage to kill Elamagrim, so we'll just take a skull. That should be enough to kill it now. What does that bring our damage to? Well, now it's definitely enough after we just poked it with that. So we'll go kill that out. Luckily it didn't revive or anything weird like that. Looks like we got Queen Aurora back up. Did we throw it on yellow? There's so much yellow, I might as well. I was expecting it to actually get all of its mana back. Unfortunately, it didn't, so we'll just go grab that then. Oh, nice. Extra turn out of nowhere, so let's go throw this on the blue. Oh, probably should have threw the other Queen Aurora, so that one would have healed. It's not going to matter much, though. We just throw that down, and one more poke of any kind, even a skull at this point, will kill it. And move that over. And there we go. That's 4 times Mythic. What even? But yeah, there's no 4 times Mythics that are worth it. There just is no good mana generator under them. Queen Aurora is like the best you got, so spam Queen Aurora. Yeah, there really aren't that many. There are a few, but they need to synergize with things that aren't ridiculously high mana cost troops. As far as things that are underneath the category, if we go under base rarity again, there aren't really that many. There's Fairish Ra, which has a 24 mana cost just to get mana generation. There's Elamagrim, but it requires burn, so you basically have to use it with fully traded Infernus if you're going all mythics. There's really no option other than that. There's Queen Aurora, which is the best at doing it. There is Stonehammer, which is the worst at doing it. There is Skady, technically, off of Blue Storm, though you'd have to have a pretty blue-oriented team to actually get value out of that. There's Infernus, which is definitely a pretty competent mana generator. Same as Wardbreaker, which is a pretty competent mana generator. They could, like, stand alone as their own team. Yasmin is decent, though it needs other supporting troops to really get it going, as far as its mana generation. And that's all of them. So that was, like, what, 5 troops? 1, 2, 3, 4... and 5. Maybe 5.5 if you count Skatey, because she doesn't do it all for ability, but she does have a Blue Storm. Yeah, that's like 5.5 or so mythics. So only 1/4 of the mythics in the game, less than 1/4, are actually even capable of mana generating to a degree of any degree, really. So yeah, that's not that good. And as I mentioned in the past, anything that doesn't like gain its own mana back or extra turn and stuff like that. Some of them do have extra turn capabilities without actually specifically having mana generation or board control though. But normally having that board control and mana generation is really nice to have. Or just board clear. Also, hello, Say. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. So Dragatar, War and Peace, Ward Breaker. Did I already answer that? But yes, move the, I believe I did, but move the War and Peace behind your Ward Breaker. Maybe even behind your Glitter Claw, and go Dragatar, Ward Breaker, Glitter Claw, and War and Peace instead. What is a good Amnesia team? There aren't really too many good Amnesia teams. Not only does it need to be fully traded, she also really only works with Daemons, and pretty much all the Daemons are like legendary and stuff. If I was to use her within a team, it would most likely only be for Yellow Guild War days, and it'd be something along the lines of like a Gorgotha, Moloch, Queen, Amnesia, and one other Daemon of some sort, or just anything in last slot to cover basically the rest of the colors, like a Famine or some kind of other cheaper utility troop of some kind. Even like a Grapple Pot wouldn't be horrible, but yeah, I would not really bother with using Amnesia much. There are very few things she's good with. She's always been considered a pretty bad troop. The only particular thing she's somewhat competent at is the current format of how Guild War is scored. She is pretty good in that context, because she has really high mana generation, she summons a really good summon, and she gives you a little bit of stats that can easily be used to keep you alive, as well as just doing additional damage, specifically when using Daemons. But for the most part, it's pretty underwhelming in most situations, and I wouldn't really bother using any team with her. It's too situational of a team to really bother putting your resources into. How do you feel about Crude Club, Goblin, Valkyrie, Scion? For very, very early in the game, that seems perfectly fine. You have your hero, which is always good to have. You have your Goblin, just for that poke damage. You have your Valkyrie, so between all that, you'd probably want to set your banner to a red-yellow or something like that, which you get from Madonna, which you would pretty much automatically have when you first start off, because I believe the tutorial forces you to have to buy Adana, or I think it does it for free, or for 250 gold for something ridiculously cheap, but yeah, so you'd automatically have that even when you're first starting off, pretty much. Yeah, that seems perfectly fine. Scion is something you would eventually want to get rid of, but at the lower level range, you could probably get away with using it like that up until like level 200, and it would still be fine. The only real issue with Scion these days is there's a lot of things that have immune to mana drain, though when you're first starting off in the game, you're going to barely ever see any of them, but you will start seeing them after time. So it is something to slightly worry about. So we're going to go throw this in just to get our free double traits done. Not like I even need it, but if he's throwing 4 bombs, I might as well do it, because why not? We'll go ahead and poke him with this. You just got 1 mythic? Wolf Garrick. Is it good? Under current context, I would say no. It definitely has potential when more Wolf Garricks, War Gears, are added to the game, but there aren't really too many War Gear synergies where it gets used. The other big issue with it is some of the best teams that it runs with are pretty expensive. For example, if I was to run it into a team, the team I would likely use it in would be the context of Wolf Garrick in first slot, followed by Fenrir, followed by a Forest Guardian, and then a Cabarrus, or something very similar to that. It still needs one really good alternative, particularly in the spot of Cabarrus instead, as a good mana generator of some sorts. Currently, Brown-Purple doesn't really have a proper mana generator for the team, though, and it doesn't have a beast mana generator that would work either, that would fit into that slot. But, yeah, it definitely has potential in the future. Wolf Garrick with the +5, I believe it's a +5 attack and magic to all War Gears. That's definitely a lot of stats just to start off with. Also, just for fun, because we can, I could use 4 Wolf Garricks. Actually, let me go use a legitimate Wolf Garrick team. Then we'll go do 4 Wolf Garricks, because we can. We did get the 4th Wolf Garrick a while back, just for fun. We're not going to do that yet, though. Let me go switch into the real team with him. Or at least the semi-real team, about as good as you can really get it. Oops, I already put the Wolf Garrick in. I just put all the Wolf Garricks in. You can also run it with Giant Spider variant. Really depends. You could either go Fenrir or Giant Spider. Depends how you specifically want to run the team. Of course, Giant Spider variant has a lot more mana generation, though Fenrir makes your Wolf Garrick basically unkillable. And now we kind of had the issue of what on earth do we put in last slot? We need a brown. Is there any good brown mana generator that could work for this team? I guess we could go Forest Guardian. The biggest issue with this is we don't have any good way of getting it mana. At all. Like, not to the slightest degree. But it would technically work. Wait, why am I doing it this? I could just typed in Forest Guardian. Or Forest Troll, I mean. But, yeah, I think we'll roll it like this. Put that right there. A little clunky having him in, but, well, we'll go with it. Why not? Anyways, let's go, and Banner would probably want to go in all in on Wolf-Garrick. So much so, I almost just want to go double... Oh, you know what we could actually do? That might be a little bit better than this. Let me go and put a... I know it's so much more expensive, but just to make it slightly better. Let's go Queen Aurora. Of course, you could go just with the other thing, too. I could fix it up some. It doesn't cover brown, but we still have the... Actually, with that being said, let's go and do a minus brown then. But we have the mana generation now. And it counts as a beast too, so we still have that aspect going. If I'm not mistaken, the whole team is beast, so got that benefit as well. Where is the... Oh yeah, we could use a hero weapon too, I didn't think about that. But yeah, we could just go like a brown-green hero weapon or something like that. And it would still cover every color and be a green team too. Though I wouldn't really advise it for Green Guild War. Wouldn't be the best of things to use, that's for sure. Though it is an option. Trying to find a banner that isn't horrible. Is that the only minus brown banner? Or am I just completely missing it? There has to be another minus brown other than the +2 yellow, +1 red. It might be the only one, though. Apparently it is. Well, I guess if we want a banner, we have to go that. It's not the best of colors, but I guess it'll be okay. Anyways, let's get into the battle. You're about level 198 right now, and low on trait stones. How about stopping your kingdom leveling and farm trait stones? That's perfectly fine. Best way to go farm trait stones is just go to the explore area where you want, and or where the arcane is that you want, and then just spam that out. And if you don't already have it unlocked, just figure out what kingdoms have that trait stone, then go do the quest line in like half an hour, and then go farm them out. Okay, so do we have enough damage to do this all Fenrir? No, we do not. That is unfortunate, because we do want to be getting those Devours, and I'm not currently capable of getting that Devour. So we're just going to take a standard skull then. And see what we have on the board, if anything. Probably nothing, which we don't have. So we'll go and throw this Fenrir buff. Hopefully, oh, I didn't even take that. Fails. That was like such blatantly insight and not even go for it. Oh well. We have this alignment, so we'll go get that. Oops, I accidentally one-shot it. Whoops, we overkilled it. A little bit. Just a little bit. We are frozen on yellow, so I do have to go for like a cast here or something. So let me go do that. Kill that out. And now one skull will kill it out for the win. That's not exactly how I meant to do this battle, but I guess it works. We're still frozen on green. We're still frozen on almost everything, so I'm just going to throw a buff just to make sure we definitely get that one shot. Because why not? And now we'll go throw this onto like blue, so we go get him up again. And actually, did we even need that? No, we didn't really actually need that. If anything, we're almost helping him. Oh, we did unfreeze, so we can go for that. I don't have Forest Guardian at the moment. Definitely should have done that previous cast into it. I'll go try for a purple here, which could have given red. Oh, as we could have just instantly killed him off of that. How am I missing all the extra turns? But there we go. But yeah, that's pretty much a Fenrir. I mean, a Wolf-Garrick team. Ideally with some Devours as well. It is really hard to hit his Devour though. Really annoying to set it up. Let's see. Let's go and see if 4 times Wolf-Garrick can take out this team. Just for fun. Because we can. All the Wolf-Garricks. Hey, he has 10% this week too. Look at that. I think because of Beast, or what is the other bonus? Yep, Beasts. So all Beasts have 10% this week. Useful. Let's see. What do we need for banners now? We need to find a -1 that doesn't use any of his colors. Or I mean, that has all of the colors going into it. Let's see. Minus yellow for green and blue. That's not it. Minus green, no. Minus red, no. Minus brown, doesn't have the other color on it. Minus blue, yeah, that would work, sure. Let's go with summer banner. Good enough. And let's go give this a shot and see what happens. Oh, the only slight issue with this is he's going to be spamming a lot of blues onto the board. Oh yeah, he can drain us. Impervious does not have immune to mana drain, unfortunately. They did that to make sure Impervious wouldn't be even more overpowered. Which is not really overpowered, it's just really effective. They made sure not to put it really on many troops that it would be overpowered on. Actually, the strongest troop that really has Impervious Excuse me. In most cases, is an Element Grim. Okay, we'll go take a green and try for a green. Didn't get it though. Hello, David. Welcome. Would Sylvanimora or KrissTigger be better than Dragatar? Definitely a KrissTigger in most situations. It has 50% score reduction, it has a summon, and it has really decent damage, and it has board control. Sylvanimora is basically only used exclusively for its Entangle, and that's about it. Unless you specifically need that Tangle on a specific battle, like if they have heavy skull spam and Entangle would counter them. That's about the only time you would ever actually bother going in with a Sylvanimora. In pretty much every other instance, it'd be better using Dragatar, or Hero with War and Peace, or a KrissTigger, as you mentioned, and almost every other option. Sylvanimora is actually pretty low value. Almost like 80% of his value comes specifically from his final trait of being able to entangle things. In all other situations, he's not really that useful. Okay. What do we need to take here? We'll go and throw down, I guess, a green. We have a really easy capability to go and try devouring them. The big issue here, though, is placing that many skulls on him, especially since he has 33% reduction. And the Nyx is being annoying. Okay, I probably should have not done it against this team. Out of everything to go show this team again, that's probably like the worst possible option. Not only does he have barrier, he has like blue spam, and we can't even deal with all that. Anyways, let's go use a team to go wipe this out real quick. Where to go? I'm looking for the divine team. Doesn't matter which divine team. I just need cleanse like crazy to get rid of all the freeze. Okay. So what do we need here? We'll go move that over. Try for a green. Didn't get it. Get a diviner onto the board. Don't even need it. Go for the mercy. Go for the blue convert. Did not get the magic buff. But we do have alignment. And yeah, we don't have alignment, so we'll go for that. Go for a explosion there. Hopefully that'll repair our board enough to actually do something. And it does not. Actually, we could take a skull, but that's not going to really do much. And we can take a yellow. Oh, we'll see what happens, I guess. Oh, that actually worked out. Okay. Well, we didn't extra turn, but we got the kill we needed, so I guess that works out in the end. Go throw that down, because we're frozen on the color that's just sitting there. Oh, we weren't frozen on brown, though. I guess I could have taken that. Oh, well. And then Infernus for the final blow. Any mid-game KrissTigger teams? Yes, a lot of mid-game KrissTigger teams. Not sure if you have Dragon Soul yet, though. But Dragon Soul is normally what it puts it together, doing a mid-range dragon team. It's normally based around Dragatar, hero class, with a weapon that you have that fills the rest of the colors. Hey, we actually got an event key. But it's Dragatar, a hero class that fills the rest of the colors, Dragon Soul, and KrissTigger. Maybe in different order, depending on what you have. But, yeah, it's pretty much the team you'd run. Let me throw it on... okay, I guess we'll do it on this. Let's go just throw it down real quick. So mid-range dragon team. Though Dragon Soul is a little bit further, but it is craftable, I believe, this week. But yeah, Dragon Soul, KrissTigger, Dragatar, and what's the color that we're missing at this point? Oops, I need more than just that. Dragatar, and we need one other one using yellow, it looks like. So a yellow dragon that isn't horrible, or a yellow hero weapon that isn't horrible. Dragon. Horrible, 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 horrible. Dragonian Monk. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Mid-range, but you need a enchant. Good with Dragon Soul, but it is a legend, so you might not have it. Plus, it needs its first trait. Only the first trait. World Breaker as well would be amazing, though that's definitely late game. So yeah, I guess Dragonian Monk is the cheapest thing. Of course, you could use a hero class fully traded with it too, with a random weapon, but that would be a lot more expensive than a Dragonian Monk. So something along the lines of this. Dragon Soul is putting this team together, though, and I don't think there's a real alternative to it in this particular setup. Oh, well, there is, but it's Element Grim. Actually, Element Grim would be even weaker than Dragon Soul in this context of this team. But I guess you could go a hero weapon, too, if you wanted to. There's all these weapons to choose from. Though, as a newer player, I don't believe you would have a single one of these, because all three of these, I believe you get at 40 red, 40 purple hero mastery. This you have to craft, and isn't even worth getting. These you get at higher level ranges, and this weapon basically doesn't even exist. So every single red-purple option's like, nope, you get none. And this is actually the best one, and unfortunately, almost no one has access to this weapon. I'm pretty sure these days only like 1,000 people, if even that, even own this weapon. Because I don't think they've sold it as of recently, or like at all, since it got released. They might have. Oops, I didn't mean to put that into my team. Fail. What was there? A Dragonian Monk, I believe. Dragonian Monk. Oops. Clear filter. Bring that up. And there we go. Okay, and let's go use this with a real banner now. Real banner as in just go all in Dragon Soul. And we're good to go. But yeah, mid-range Dragon team. Still ends up working out quite well. Got our barrier, got our buff, got our attack buff, got a mana generator. Really heavy mana generator and damage. Yeah, got a little bit of everything. And we got our summoner. And we have board control. Okay, we'll go and what do we even need to take? I guess we'll go and get Dragatar up. Go throw that into some yellows and go from there. What to go for, what to go for. What do we need? I guess we could try for some of the 3 pairs here. We only end up getting 1 yellow, but it's still fine. This late in the game, it doesn't matter. Obviously, the earlier we are in the game, the more yellows you'd want to be hitting off of that. So we're going to take this down. Actually, we can KrissTigger for it. Do we want to remove it, or do we take it? I think I'm actually going to manually take it. This might make it so our KrissTigger is an extra turn, but it does give us a Dragon Soul to now cast. So let me get rid of something that he really needs. So apparently it's yellow. So we'll go get rid of that. We need yellow too, but we don't need as yellow as badly as he needs yellow. So we'll go clear the board now. That gives us another KrissTigger. Again, we'll probably go clear yellow. Maybe after casting Dragatar once, though. Let's see. There's no way I can immediately kill that out. Let's go take that because we can. And I guess we take a double yellow because it's more than a single yellow. And we even get a Cascade out of it. So we'll go for another KrissTigger here. We'll take it out on green. Just so we get some mana generation out of it. I know, we might lose a troop. I guess we could throw some barriers if we really wanted to. We might actually want to, because he's about to throw a lot of stuff down. So we'll go for a quad barrier here. That'll barrier our entire team. He still managed to kill us. What? Wait, what? Oh, did I just throw Dragatar instead? No, I definitely threw... Wait, I'm confused now. What happened? Hold up. Oh, I see. The burn took his barrier off. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the burn only hits you if you have no armor left. That's what it did. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering what happened there. Yeah, the barrier got taken off of burn, and then he killed us with Dawnbringer. That makes sense. Okay, my bad. We'll go take out all the reds there. Extra turn, nice. And now we get even more blue, which goes into our KrissTigger. Though that is unfortunately blocking our purple for our Dragon Soul. That's not really going to matter much. Is that an extra turn? No, it is not, because it drops the other one as well. So, yeah, that's not going to work out. Let's go take that, get a bunch of Cascades, and see what else we can do from there. I guess we'll just go get some KrissTigger down and kind of work it from there. Maybe take some blues and such. Get that going, and dead. And there we go. And it gets max soul capacity, and it works out decently. What do you think about a Dragon Soul, Isabella, Fair Shra, and Queen Aurora? Interesting setup. I guess that's one way to go use a Fair Shra for soul farming. I guess we'll give it a shot. I don't think I specifically have tried that team before. Though probably slightly bad idea for me to go throw it against a Mercy. How's the video coming along explaining the focus at the different stages of the game? Hopefully within the next week. I definitely been wanting to get that out, and I do want to get it out before next version if I can. But yeah, soon TM. Soon TM on that video. Yeah, whenever I have the time laying around, I will be working towards that. I think I'm just going to make it a lot simpler than what my original plan is. I'm wanting to make it way more complicated than it needs to be. I should probably just deliberately make it simpler just so it's easier to explain for everyone and for newer players to understand. Because I wanted to explain like a lot of stuff in it, but I might just simplify it into like the core main points that you need to know instead of going over every single tiny detail. The video would be like 30 minutes long if I went into every single detail, maybe even an hour. And like zero combat, just literally just talking the whole time about various things that you should be doing at every single instance. But yeah, I should probably make sure it's a watchable amount of time. Because I can go on for a while explaining things, and sometimes will overloop itself. I might end up making a script. Very rarely do I make script for videos though, but it makes it so I stay on topic and make sure I don't overextend how long I want the video to be. It's a great way to shorten videos. It also makes it clearer so I don't like keep rambling into anything. Let's see. You don't come to Tacet for simple answers. Well, it'll still have all the details you need. It just won't be too over the top. It'll still have all the core information when I do it, even if I do shorten it to some degree. I know, right? I never do short explanations. I don't think anyone ever comes to me to get a short explanation. You come to me because you want to know every possible detail. Because we will go into more detail than you would ever want to know about anything. But yeah, we'll be getting around to it. Also, hello, Derek. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hello, Oscar. Hello, Alan. So, what's with everyone getting here all of a sudden? I guess it's because YouTube keep doing the notifications late. Hate when they do that. Anyways, what was I about to go do? Oh, can I show a low-cost AoE team? What is the advantage of minus banners? The advantage of minus banners if they have additional plus on a different color. So, for example, any of the banners that are like this. Like, let's say a normal banner, like right here. You can see it has +1 yellow, +1 red. But if we, let's say we wanted even more of those colors, we could go into something like this banner, the dragon banner. And you can see it still has +2 overall, but instead it has +2 into one color, +1 into one color, and then -1 into another color. These banners are often used on teams that either don't really need this color or don't even use it at all. So if we were to be using a team that didn't have like any brown on it at all, but we had like yellow and red troops to go use, then this banner would be quite beneficial to us, since it would be giving us all the bonus and none of the negative effect. And these are really commonly used if you're not using a specific color. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole point. It's really situational depending on what team you're running. But they're basically what they do. They're also sometimes used to rush a specific mana. For example, even if you're using yellow on a team, Dragon Soul is very often ran with this banner. The main reason being is it rushes Dragon Soul's mana very quickly, and that's normally one of your biggest priorities. It's really good to set a double banner like this, a +2, +1, -1 into a, or you know, those two colors into whatever your main mana generator is on your team, and doing that will allow everything on your team to get mana, especially if it's an exploder or some kind of similar troop to that. I believe there's a really good one coming out for Gorgolfa next Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a +2 brown, +1 yellow or something, which is going to be very, very good with Gorgolfa. So similar to how this always gets used with Dragon Soul for quick mana generation, I believe the new banner Next Kingdom will be used with Gorgolfa a lot because it's going to be needed for quick mana generation. As far as the other part of your question, there aren't really too many cheap AoEs. One of the cheaper ones that did come into the game as of recently, which is worth experimenting with, is Diviner and I forget what the other one is called. Everyone just nickname him Long Boy, and I don't know what his actual name is. Let's see. I don't know what his name is. I know he's a yellow-red from Shentang. Penglong, that's his name. But yeah, a Diviner Penglong team with like 2 other troops is pretty decent. The reason for this is you get Penglong for free from completing out the new Shentang Kingdom that came in pretty recently in like the last month or two. And it's pretty low AoE, but what makes it good is it has a 2x boost ratio based on every enchant on your team. And something like a Diviner not only has a chance to enchant your entire team, but also mana generates into this troop. So it's one of the decent early game kind of AoEs that you can get. Another pretty good option is the Weapon of War and Peace. Well, not specifically in this kind of team composition. War and Peace is a weapon that is really, really quick to obtain, and it's one of the essential AoE weapons that you can kind of get early on. There's 2 of them. There's War and Peace, and then there is Creeping Death. War and Peace is a full AoE brown-green. Really good for arena and stuff, and just does really decent damage. +2 attack gain is pretty useful earlier on in the game. The other one is Creeping Death. Creeping Death is damage to all enemies at a similar amount, only uses 1 color, but it does place Death Mark on the weakest and lowest, which is a 10% chance per turn after the first turn in order to instantly kill them. So could just randomly get an instant kill out of nowhere. As far as where you get those, it's a lot quicker to get War and Peace. To get War and Peace, you have to do the Adana Kingdom, and then the Kazale Kingdom. Then at the end of the Kazale Kingdom, you'll get a bonus quest line, and then from that bonus quest line, you will get War and Peace weapon. And that doesn't take that much time at all. Could do that in a couple hours if you just go and do Adana, then Kazale. Other than that, the other one you obtain from Kedar. You complete out the entirety of Kedar. You get a hero class from it. You then win 250 times while you have that hero set as your class, and then you end up getting the Creeping Death weapon. And to do that, you would go under Hero, go under Class, and then once you have the Necromancer class unlocked, you would change for free and just get 250 wins. Doesn't matter if your hero's in your team, you just have to get 250 wins, and then you get that Creeping Death weapon. Actually, it even shows it if we go under the little thingy. Where'd it go? If we go under Necromancer, go to Customize, go under, I have no clue where it is these days. There it is, Creeping Death, as you can see, and that's where you unlock that thingy. But yeah, those are the 2 really big AoE weapons, or the 3 basically big AoEs they can get. You can get the Penglong from Shentang, You can get the War and Peace from Kizil, or you can get the Creeping Death from Kedar. Creeping Death would take the longest, though out of those three, it's probably the best option. Because you can just put a giant spider with it, and then boom, you're pretty much good to go. You can run that very easily, especially if you have like a decent exploder like a Ragnarcord or Grugoltha, or maybe even Azura wouldn't be too horrible with it. So hello, Patrick, welcome. Now that you have Diamond for a Mythic, Fairish Ra is not available. Well, he will be available hopefully in the next few months or so. But yeah, I would definitely wait it out. It's definitely worth waiting until Fairish Ra comes around. The only other things that might be an exception to that are things like World Breaker and Elmagrim, and particularly Infernus and stuff like that. Like those really heavy core mana, damage sources that tend to get used in most PvP teams these days. Those are about the only things that may be considerable compared to a Fairish Ra, though I do highly consider Fairish Ra to be the best possible one to craft first. But people that play more time PvP than actually soul farming may actually prefer going with a real good PvP troop instead. Can you run 4 times Goblin Rocket and explore or anywhere you want? You want to learn from the master? I don't know if 4 times Goblin Rocket would even really be that good. Because what would it really do? You would need a mana generator for it. But sure, I'll go do it. Just for fun. If anything, it gives us a lot of... we get to mess around with it a lot. But it'd be a lot more convenient just doing Alchemist's Moneylender. It would give us gold too. But we'll go with this real quick. I don't see why not. See what we can do with Mass Goblin Rocket. We're not going to have the infinite loop though. But we'll still be able to make it work. I guess we'll go do it... sure, we'll go do this one. Why not? Give it a shot. It's been a while since I bothered using these kind of exploder things. I don't normally use them on a regular basis. Also doesn't help that we're not getting mana. That's the problem of not having all the Moneylender and stuff. Let's see. Because we don't have too many mana options to actually go for. Also, I probably should have set this out to higher difficulty because we are going to have almost no options here. Board control. You could drop into a red. I guess that's fine. It's good enough. Go grab that. Get our mana back. Do we have anything weird we could do here? No. We could try for the yellow here into a some kind of additional move. It also gives us a purple drop. So let me go do that then. So go get rid of that one. I could try here and try getting some kind of cascade. We could get a double red as well. And get something working there. We could also get a yellow over in this area. And that's exactly what we needed. We get the yellow there. It feels like playing treasure maps when you're using Goblin Rockets. Because you have to be thinking like several turns ahead. Because you automatically get that automatic extra turn. So you're always having to think like what... It's basically always going to be your turn. So you have to think... You have to... has, like I was saying earlier in the previous stream, it has that weird mechanic, like in Treasure Hunt, as well as when using goblins, where you basically have to set up the board to be good for you, not bad for you. Normally, when using a normal team, you want to set up the board so it's bad on the next turn, because you want to make sure that the enemy has a bad board when it's their turn. But with things like Goblin Rockets and Goblins in general and Treasure Hunt, you want to make sure the board is actually good for you on the following turn, because in the case of Goblins and such, it's pretty much perpetually going to be your turn, so obviously you want the board to be good. And in the case of Treasure Hunt, you need it to be good because you, of course, get more points that way. But, yeah, it's a little bit weird using Goblin Rocket. It takes a little while to get used to, but it's great practice because it helps you learn just 3 times explosions in general. And he's a really great utility to have. I still would consider him as probably one of the top 10 troops in the game, even though I personally don't use him a lot because he's a little slow. If you're looking just for sheer win rate, he's probably has like one of the highest win rates that you can do once you get used to using him. Assuming you're not up against freeze, of course. If you're up against freeze, he just completely crumbles, but assuming every non-freeze instance, he's a nice, fun troop to use. Definitely one of my personal favorites, actually, despite not using him that often, just because he's so slow compared to late game options. What is the rotation time in Soulforge? About 5 months. I don't know for sure if they actually set up the rotation time. 5 months. I meant 5 weeks. Could you imagine 5 months? Actually, for Legends, it basically is 5 month rotation. I don't know if they've actually set up the rotation yet. I didn't see anything on the previous patch. Even though they mentioned it a lot, I don't think they actually posted it. So I'm not sure if they did start the rotation or not on the Soulforge. And I haven't been paying close enough attention to actually see if anything has repeated in the last several months or not. Or the last several weeks, I mean. But, yeah, I'm not fully certain on that, to be honest. Not at all. But if it is on rotation, it should be about 5 to 6 weeks at most. And since Fairish Ra has been, what, 2 weeks ago, I think it was? 1 week ago? Should be about 5 weeks at most before you see another Fairish Ra then. So yeah, it could be another month, but it's definitely worth waiting than to go with something that you don't necessarily want. Could you try this team, please? Forest Troll, Yasmin, Chosen, Famine, Christina Extra. We'll give it a shot. I don't see why not. If anyone else still has any questions or I think things I missed. Is there a way to get event keys at a reasonable pace? No. There's no ways to get event keys at a reasonable pace. They deliberately have it so it's impossible to get them at a reasonable pace without spending money for them. The only ways you can get event keys are very limited. You get one every 60 guild, or not guild, every, where's the thingy? I keep clicking on every wrong place. You get one every single time you do 60 defense. We actually just got one earlier during the stream, even though I didn't really make much mention of it. But you get this every 60 defense. If you're ever wondering why people set their team as 4 times Firebomb and stuff like that, it's because of this. They can get all these resources a lot more often. Plus, they get triple or double gold on any of the revenge battles that they go and revenge against. But yeah, that's where you get some of your event keys. It's about a few per week, obviously not too many. A good bulk of them end up coming from your guild specifically. I can't actually show, but you do get a bunch of tasks that do give them. Actually, if I go into my legendary tasks, for example, we could probably see several of them that we've gotten in the past. Of course, you'd have to be in a pretty much larger guild to really be reaching legendary tasks, but you still get quite a few from just normal tasks as well. Where's mail? So if we go under mail and we go under collected, if we go under a couple of these, you can see we got 4 event keys there. 4 event keys there again. That's not it. Though actually one of these defender rewards would be our event key thing I was mentioning earlier. There it is. There's the event key we got from that. There's one event key, stuff like that. But the only other location to really get them, though I do consider it a waste, but if you're in a pinch to get a few, it is a possible method, is to spend 150 glory each to get one event key. This is pretty bad value, or at least I personally consider it to be bad value. But there are some people that, if you desperately needed some event keys, it is a method to obtain them, especially if you still need maps, because you're at least not getting horrible value if you actually do need the maps. And the only other location you really get them in is, well, spending actual gems for them. Of course, you can get gems for free, and they cost 15 gems each, and I believe it goes down to 14, if I'm not mistaken, if buying them in bulks of 50. But yeah, that's pretty much everywhere where you get event keys. Not really that many. There's no realistic way to obtain a huge amount of them. Oh, there is one other way too. Check the thingy every single week, because sometimes on the event objectives there are event keys. This week happens to have none, but it does have gems, which of course you could put into event keys if you wanted to. But there is often event keys on whatever the event objectives are for the week. And sometimes as many as like 6 or 8 or however many they normally put here. A pretty decent amount on some weeks. I think they've had a total of 12 even sometimes, off of like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, it's pretty much every way to obtain event keys. There is no realistic way to obtain a lot of them, other than just obtaining a lot of gems by free-to-play means, which is mainly just from guild maps and from gnome events. Also, gnome events give a okay amount of event keys as well. I believe on average you would end up getting a few per hour if you were to actually go and try to just spam trying to get gnomes constantly. And that's not even counting the gems that you could put towards it too. Anyways, what was that one team that was just suggested? If anyone else has anything else, let me know. Hopefully Infernus will be craftable next week. Probably a week or two. I recall him being several weeks ago. If it is running on a 5-week rotation. Let's see. Your mythics are Plague, Fairish Ra, Amnesia, and Elma Grim. Any good ideas for Purple Guild War Day? Around 1 or more of those. Bill... Oh, wait, never mind. Elma Grim doesn't work on Purple Day. Because there isn't a viable option for it without Infernus. Let's see. I guess you would build around Fairish Ra then. Some kind of Dragon Soul Fairish Ra team would probably be your best bet. As far as the other 2 troops, it would depend what kind of utilities you have to get the mana. You would want 1 other mana generator, and you would want 1 other damage source or summoner, depending on which way you want to go around it. But yeah, a Dragon Soul Fairish Ra team. That should be enough to win most of the days on your Guild Wars. Maps equals glory equals event keys. Yeah, pretty much. They don't directly give you event keys, but you do get, of course, like you mentioned, glory from it, which you could put towards event keys, which then give you event keys. And then you just keep doing the cycle over and over again. Can you test Dragon Soul, Isabella, Fairish Ra, Queen Aurora? Yes, that was the team I believe that someone just mentioned. Well, you mentioned. So let me go do that. But thanks for re-mentioning it. Though if there was someone else's, or if there was some other team, let me know. If someone else was mentioning something. Yeah, we'll go mess with this. Dragon Soul, Ishbala. Or I mean Ishbala. I always add another syllable that isn't even there. Ferris Ra. And what was the final one we needed? We need a Queen Aurora. And that is not how you spell queen. That is also not how you spell queen. Why do I keep hitting I? There we go. Okay, let's go. And do I just go Dragon Soul Banner? No, because we're going to have yellow mana generation. We don't want to go Dragon Soul Banner into that. What banner do we need? What are we missing? We're not missing anything, are we? I almost feel like just going red-purple because of the +1s we have from Queen Aurora. Where's red-purple? Red-purple. I know you're in here. It's wherever Golvania is. I hate that it's alphabetically ordered based on the grayed out text. That still makes no sense whatsoever to me. Where's Golvania? There it is, Golvania. They have the bold text, but the one that is grayed out is the one that's actually alphabetized? How do you say that word? Alphabetized by the one that's grayed out. It doesn't make any sense at all. Or at least to my logic, it doesn't. I would expect that the one that is actually alphabetized by would be the one that's easier to see, but it's the other way around, which is I find to be very odd and weird game design visually. Not sure if they're ever going to change that. I can't be the only one who's having that issue with it, though. Maybe it's just me being paranoid about it. Anyways, let's go and throw that down. Also, interesting concept of team, because you get the Ferris Raz from the Isabella, and then that feeds back into the Isabella. Interesting concept, for sure. Yeah, we do have the Cascade there. Let me go for that, so we get another Ferris Ra. I want to throw this into Infernus before he does something. This is to kill it out. And yeah, that team actually works pretty well. Wow. Yeah, this is working exceptionally well for Guild War, or not Guild War, for PvP soul farming. Red to Skull. For whatever reason, I forgot what one she converted for a second. Random brain fade. Okay, we'll go and all we have to do is poke it twice or go for Dragon Soul into anything. Well, I guess that's technically poking it twice, and there we go. Yeah, it's pretty quick for the 2-something souls. Yeah, the 275. Not too bad. Actually pretty solid, because you get that like whole double convert mechanic that works pretty well, because the board is so saturated with the colors you need. Also, hello Amber, welcome. You made your purple team Sea Troll, Lady or an Aerial, Kraken, and Mab. The only slight issue with that is, under the context of Guild Wars, Lady or an Aerial and anything that specifically only does an HP buff tends to not be as good. The main reason for this is because HP does nothing for your score in Guild Wars, nor it doesn't increase your damage, which would help you with your score, and it doesn't really, well, do anything that helps you with your score, unfortunately. It helps to make sure you don't die, but if anything, it almost helps the enemy, because the higher your HP, the more damage you can take, and the more damage you take compared to your enemy, the lower your score will be. So I've never been a huge fan of throwing HP into Guild Wars, mainly because it's basically punished for doing so, as weirdly as it is. It's fine to do so, like with Queen Aurora and some other instances, just because they're used for other purposes. And I guess technically under the context of using Lady or an Aerial more so for its mana generation than its HP, then it's kind of decent. But do keep that in mind. More often than not, I wouldn't really advise to do stuff like that. Even Queen Aurora I try to stay away from. Only reason I specifically sometimes like to use it is, other than its +1s, it has barrier. And some days of Guild War days, there aren't really too many barrier options, and it's a nice alternative. Okay, let's go throw this on Famine, because I did not want to deal with Famine. Actually, I probably should throw it down first slot and then throw it on Famine, because now I wasted a lot of damage potential, because if I want to kill Famine now, I have to waste his entire ability on him, which we just did, so that was a bit of a waste. Yep, he just killed it. That's not good. Well, I guess we'll go and hit him back with Skulls. Wish we had a Ferris Ra right now. The board is set up so perfectly for it, but we don't have it. There we go. Now we do. Let's go poke out the Valkyrie. He'll just die off a Skull or anything we do, pretty much. Go move that over, take Skull, another Ferris Ra. Just keep spamming them down. No good converts, but it's the only troop left, so I might as well throw it down, and there we go. But yeah, I need to keep this team noted. I might even need to save it somewhere. I never realized how ridiculously good this is. Isabella with Ferris Ra. We have done some teams with it. I don't think I've ever bothered putting the Dragon Soul Queen Aurora with it, though. But yeah, that works out quite nicely. Oh, it's actually Purple Guild War, too. Interesting. I don't think I would run that in Purple Guild War, though. But, yeah, it does function quite well. That reminds me, what is tomorrow's Guild War Day? Let me guess. Purple? I always don't check it ever. I'm really bad at checking it. Also, I forgot to do dungeons yet. I need to go do that before we end. Also, thank you, Kimmy, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Tomorrow's Guild War is purple. Interesting. I'll keep note of that team. I don't think I'm going to run it in Guild War, though. But, maybe we will, just to change things up. It seems like something I'd want to run in PvP, though, just for soul farming. It doesn't seem that bad for that purpose. Yeah, maybe we'll throw it in Guild Wars. We'll see. I'll see you tomorrow night. Anyways, we'll go and... wait, we did do dungeons. Never mind. Wait, when did we do dungeons? Okay, now I'm even starting to forget when we do dungeons. You, like, blink and it's like, okay, dungeon's already done. Wow. Yeah, dungeons take, like, 2 seconds, it feels like. Oops, that's not the move I meant to take. Actually, let me just clear out this map. I didn't even mean to click on the map. I thought this was the dungeon button because we didn't do dungeons yet. But it's the map button because we already did our dungeons. Go move that down. Move that. Move that. And... But seriously, it's probably going to take only like 1 minute eventually to complete out dungeons in the future. Oh, so that totally looks like the pipe from Mario. Do any of you guys notice that little thing there? It always distracts me in this background. That pipe right there, or I think it's a pipe. It's supposed to be like some kind of jewelry thing, but it always looks like one of those Mario pipes to me. Anyways, yeah, we did indeed do it, right? Yeah, we did complete out dungeons. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, they don't take any time at all. What would you replace Queen Aurora with if you wanted a purple generator? Under the context of a pure purple team? Because there's nothing purple that creates purple other than Ellcarjen, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as just a mana generator, the Dark Troll and Giant Spider are the 2 best options. So if you were going to run that team that we were just using in PvP and not specifically in Guild Wars, you'd likely do a Dark Troll here and place it in 2nd slot and move the whole team there. So it'd be Dragon Soul, Dark Troll right there, Divine Isabella, and then Fair Shra would be your team. But yeah, that wouldn't be pure purple, but it would be a proper purple generator that isn't Queen Aurora. Which would be good for PvP if you're running it for that purpose. You could do Giant Spider too, but I believe in that context, the Troll would be better. Any purple Guild War attack with no mythics, your advice? Build completely around Dragon Soul and hope that you can get enough kills off of that. I don't think you can go pure Dragon with it, but there's... Let me see. What is some of the other smaller stuff? What do I even use these days anyways? Oh yeah, I still use that really expensive team. I use a Hellcat into... Dragon Soul wouldn't be too horrible, though. Some kind of Hellcat Dragon Soul team. I feel like Purple Day cheaply is one of the harder ones. Red and Purple, I think, are the 2 harder ones to kind of do for cheap value. Because if we go into Purple real quick, what do we really have? Not counting, like, Summoners and stuff. There are a couple good Summoners. Because if we're looking at, let's say, Legend minus, we have Asho, which is okay. Ancient Golem isn't really worth using. Azurus, in the context of this, isn't worth using. Oh, yeah. I forgot. You can build an entire team around Azura. That's perfectly fine. Azura Baba Yaga is actually not that bad of a combo. You have Azura for mana generation, dispel, and stat reduction. And you have Baba Yaga for silence, disable, and immune to mana drain, plus a summon. So you pretty much have everything covered by those 2, except board control. But you could easily go add, like, hey, Boar Rider, and then boom. Or maybe not Boar Rider, actually, that's use the same color. But you could definitely fit something in there, just shove some kind of board control. Carnex I'm not a huge fan of, but it can be used on purple days if you don't have a Dragon Soul. Corrupt Sorceress is generally my go-to summon other than Baba Yaga if you needed a summon for Purple Guild War Day, because its summon is pretty good, particularly if it does an Anointed one and has immune to mana drain, and even if it dies, it has a 25% chance that it technically doesn't die due to the Ancient Horror. Any team around Isabella, if you have that many Divines, would work, or if you even have her to begin with. A full team around Ellcarjen, if you own it, works out great. Drake Rider, if you have no backline tank for a Kraken or something, works pretty decently, because he has a 100% chance to revive off his ability, has good damage, and is a great red mana generator due to his yellow to red convert. Emperor Liang, if you have really clunky teams, but you have this thing fully traded, is good for its enchants to make sure you keep getting your casts out. You can also use it with Penglong. Oh, no, you can't. Never mind. It's red-yellow. Ignore what I just said. Flame Troll, if you have a bunch of reds and you want to use a Hellcat with it, wouldn't be horrible. Green Seer, if you want to go some kind of green-oriented team. Hellcat, if you want to go some kind of red-oriented team, like with a Dragon Soul. Herdmaster is actually really good, even better on Purple Day than it is on Yellow Day, because you don't specifically need to take yellow, so it's a really good cleanse option, really good, really cheap. Infernus, if you don't want to go that, is a better damage source. Get the skulls in there, works out nicely. If Infernus, if you have, you could literally pretty much solo the entire purple day with that. Kraken is pretty nice. You can't go Giant Spider on a purple day, but you can go and just plop it into a team. Maybe use some kind of blue troop that can utilize that nicely. Even Lady Arnariel wouldn't be horrible with it, and just kind of go down that way. Lady Arnariel, even though what I was just saying is okay for a purple day, if you don't have other options because of how well it is at mana generating. Not a Hydra, a Vinoxia does a pretty similar thing, but actually applies damage, which is normally a little bit more advised, at least in Guild War context. Magnus isn't horrible. It's a great last slot if you have it fully traded, laying around. Miststalker's pretty nice if you're going down the true damage route because it cleans up kills very easily. Other than that, Nyx, if you have that laying around, really good drainer, assuming they don't have immune to mana drain. You would need something that uses blue very well. Again, Fairish Ra, best single target in the game. You would need a soul-gaining troop like Dragon Soul or something to work with it, but it is pretty nice. If you don't have that, Fizzbang, if you don't want to go Azura, is a pretty nice mana generator. Personally, I would go Azura, though, just because it's way more consistent. Plague, if you truly had no other option, but you do have that Mythic laying around, is a pretty good disable, though I would advise using Azura in almost every situation. Same as with Poison Master, you'd be better off just using Azura. Scion, if you have nothing else, great drainer. Queen Aurora, great if you have it fully traded, though very expensive. Queen Mab, great if you have it fully traded, though, again, pretty expensive. Queen Titania, same thing as the last few. Great, but expensive. Good with Hellcat and stuff like that, too. You can build an entire team, like I said, around Queen Titania as well, just with Hellcat, Flame Troll, all that kind of stuff. Rock Troll, Dark Troll. Oh, never mind, you can't use Rock Troll, Dark Troll, but you can use a Rock Troll specifically for brown mana generation. You could even use that into a Rock Spirit if you're, like, truly early game. Wouldn't be horrible. Skyla, I wouldn't really advise. Sakima, I feel is too inconsistent to really use, though it is decent. What else? Skady doesn't really work on Purple Day. Solzara, I wouldn't really advise using, just because of how clunky she can be sometimes. Spirit Fox wouldn't be horrible, especially if they're really heavy on the yellows. Denies out all yellow, gets a mana drain. Would be good with Miststalker as well if you're going down that route. Sunbird, I have heard people saying that it actually minuses your points for using it. Though if that is the case, never use it. But if that's not the case, Sunbird is amazing. The only problem is I believe it does hurt your score. Summoner, ever since they buffed it, isn't horrible. It does do a life gain and all that. Dragon Soul, as I mentioned, build an entire team around it. Widow Queen is good to put in your team, but not really something you should be really building around for Guild War purposes. Umber Wolf is absolutely amazing if you have it fully traded. Gives that you Perpetual Darkstorm, works out nicely. And I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything more down here. Oh, Void Portal. Very, very niche troop, but if you are running some kind of soul-gaining troop and you want to have a Impervious Summoner, I believe it's one of the only options under purple that does that specifically, so it's nice. Werewolf makes for a good tank because it transforms back and forth, and that one definitely doesn't lower your score, unlike a Sunbird does. This one wouldn't do that. Wisp, if you just needed a Dispel and you don't have Azura for whatever reason. And Yasmin, you can, like, pretty much every day, you could build an entire team around her if you really wanted to. I don't think there's any good green generators, though. Oh, yes, there is. You can use Green Seer. You can use Green Seer Yasmin on a purple day if you happen to have that laying around. That's pretty much everything, other than hero weapons. As far as hero weapons, Creeping Death or Black Manacles pretty much would be your core 2 weapons. More so Black Manacles due to it having the additional color, and you'd want to be covering all colors. So basically Black Manacles if you own it. You get a 40 brown, 40 purple hero mastery. That's pretty much everything you would have to be able to use. Okay, every def does hurt your score, so yeah, don't use Sunbird. If you're going to use something, use the Werewolf instead if you own it. That will do a similar thing to what a Sunbird does, but without the score penalty. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading off for the night. We'll be back same time as always, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow on tomorrow night, as we do every single night. Just streaming, messing around with stuff, doing Guild Wars and whatever guild-related thing, dungeons and all that mess. Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 12.5 hours from now at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be messing around. Going to be doing a lot of treasure hunt tomorrow. I know quite a few people don't really care for it, but we will be doing it quite a bit tomorrow, so heads up on that. We will be doing some other stuff too, like maybe going over to new mythics a little bit, messing around with just general teams, and of course answering any questions anyone has. But a good bulk of tomorrow's stream is going to be treasure hunt. It's going to be one of the... we haven't really done too many like treasure hunt related themes or related streams in a while, so yeah, tomorrow will pretty much be an entire treasure hunt. Like 2/3 the time, or at least half the time, will be spent at minimum doing specifically treasure hunt. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and yeah, goodbye, everyone.